खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह Guru Pyari Sath Sangat Ji, join us on the Discover Sikhi program. I was wondering what Discover Sikhi means. Discover means to search for something, and Sikhi means instructions, how we can merge with the truth, how we can realize the true God. So this program is basically aimed at finding out how we can merge with the truth. Give सचेरा होई है, give कूड़े टुटे पाल, हुक्म रजाई चलना नानक लिखया नाल. So today on the program we have Sukhi Kaur and Amritpal Singh who have joined, giving up all their routine activities, meeting families and friends, and come here to do the seva of disseminating and sharing the knowledge with the Sath Sangat. So thanks for coming along, Sukhi Kaur and Amrit Singh, sorry. And Sukhi Kaur, you have all the questions.
I have indeed. Okay, so the first question is, how do you know when you're ready to take Amrit?
Just explain what Amrit means. What do you mean by that? Because
So I'm thinking,
Amrit is already there in the body.
yeah, I
So
think it's that idea
yeah.
of going to an Amrit Sanjad and, being blessed with Amrit. So becoming an Amritari. I think that's probably what the question's all about.
You should know. I can share my experience, and Amritpal Singh can share his experience. But
Mm,
my experience is, as soon as I did my degree, I was 21 at that time, and no one had told me to take Amrit. I was blessed with the Amrit. I had zeal inside that I must take Amrit, and I was blessed with the Amrit, and there you go. But I don't know. It comes from inside, Sukhi. It's not something you can do under pressure. No one can
mm,
force you to take Amrit. And most important thing I've realized is, although you take the Amrit from the Panch Pyare and
mm,
go through the process of Khande Bate Di Pahal, so there is a process how you are given the Amrit. The 5 Baniyas are read, Ardas is done, and the Amrit is prepared with the water, with the sugar crystal, which is called Patase, and water and sugar crystal are stirred with the Khanda. But now, that is Guru's blessing, that is your initiation. But as I said before, Amrit is already there in your body. The reason you go through that process is you take admission in Guru's university. You have to follow code of conduct, behave yourself, conduct yourself in such a way that you can realize the Amrit within your body. Okay, so like you join the university. Joining the university, taking the admission is like taking Amrit from the Panj Pyare. Then you have to work hard to pass your exams, and then you are given degree.
mm.
So analogy is, when you get degree, it is like realizing Amrit within your body. So it's a long process. So what is your take on that? I mean, do you feel like you are ready, or where this question comes from?
I think you know what it is. It's part of me kind of thinks like I definitely know. At some point, I do want to be blessed with Amrit. Do want to become a full Amritari. But then I kind of get this kind of feeling in the back of my head that I'm probably not ready because I'm kind of doing everything I can to prepare, like do my Banjivanya in the morning, making sure I do my bath in the throughout the day, make sure I wear the Banjagaras as much as I can, kind of thing. But I kind of feel like it's a really big commitment that you're making, so I kind of want to I want to kind of make sure I'm fully prepared to do it before I actually go through it because I don't want to end up um, like some people do, that they'll be blessed with Amrit and then at some point in their lives they end up breaking it. And I kind of feel like this is
Sure.
something that needs to be taken very, very seriously. So yeah, I kind of feel like I'm nearly there. but not quite there yet. Because in my mind, I'm kind of thinking there's still more things that I need to do before I want to be blessed with Amrit.
As you said, you're already trying to practice the code of
Mm,
conduct, basically. You are reciting your five Baniya. You are doing everything. You are trying to get used to wearing 5Ks,
mm,
yeah, which is a good step. And I think you're already ready. As long as you can keep yourself away from the four deadly sins, which is
mm,
called Bajar Kurehta. Uh, First one, as you know, I'm just going to repeat for the benefit of Sangat. Keeping your body intact, not cutting your hair, or not disfiguring your body. That's
mm,
number one. If you do that, basically, you are destroying God's creation. God has given you a beautiful body, and if you start disfiguring your body, you're going against God's will. The second deadly sin, Vajrakrath, is consuming any intoxicants like drugs, cigarettes, or alcohol. As long as you can keep away from that, that's your second step. The third step is adultery. So as long as you can keep away from that, you have self-control, you're disciplined. That's your third step. Fourth step is keeping away from meat. So these bajar kurata, meat simply means that in order to realize presence of God within yourself, you need to start seeing God in the animals and birds and be compassionate. Compassion helps you to realize the divine nectar or presence of God within your body. So these are the four steps. So Kiko, if you can discipline yourself and follow these instructions, then you are
mm.
ready.
I do kind of feel like I already do all those four things anyway. Because I've never had alcohol. I gave up eating meat years ago. Before I
Yeah.
started wearing my discard. Um, Obviously the other stuff I've never done it anyway, so it's not something that's within me to do it. So maybe I don't know.
So
We'll have a look. See.
all you need to do now is pray to Vaheguru and admit that you do not know any wisdom. You don't
Mm,
have any wisdom. You don't have strength. Please bless me with the strength and wisdom so I can walk on the righteous path. I was talking to Gyani ji this morning. Gyani Amrik Singh ji, he couldn't be on the show today because he's traveling to London. So he mentioned that Pai Jetha ji, who became Guru Ramdas ji later on, he was asked by third Guru, Guru Amar Das ji, to see the Emperor Akbar because he wanted to question certain sermons in the Gurbani. And Pai Jetha ji said, Guru Maharaj, I don't know anything. I don't have any gyan. And you know what Guru Amar Das ji said? You carry on focusing on the Mool Mantar Bani. ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ Akal Murt, Ajuni, Sahibhang, Gur Prasad, and all the answers which Akbar is going to ask you, they will come in front of you. And Pai Jethaji was able to answer all those questions. So what I'm trying to say is, maybe you think you are not ready. You need Guru's Kirpa. And you have to pray for Guru's Kirpa. And you will be there. Okay?
yeah, sounds good.
Amritpal Singh, you want to add to that?
Only a little bit. Yeah, I haven't taken Amrit so far. I do think in my own head, when will it be? And I do have
Mm,
that longing at some point for it to happen. But again, I think it can't be forced. It comes from within. It's the
Absolutely.
spark from within. It's not a self-conscious to say that
mm,
I will take Amrit. I don't think it. My feeling is it doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's not
mm,
I will. It's more a blessing from Vaheguru, and
Yeah,
I think
agree.
everything we can do to take us in that direction, whether it's doing your part, don't do any of the sins as Amardeep has just described, praying to Vaheguru, then that spark will come from within, and you before you know it, you'll be there. I think that's how it works anyway. But as I said, I haven't taken it. I would like to at some point. Often think
Yeah.
about it, see it as a more important goal than anything else. To be frank, it's more sustaining, more fulfilling. But the interesting thing, as Amrit described, is it's an admission to Guru's university. So having taken Amrit is not the
Yeah.
end; it's just the beginning of a proper journey. I feel.
As you said, I'm praying to Vaheguru that
Yes.
you have blessed me to be baptized, to
Mm,
take Khande Bate ki pohol. I'm so blessed. I'm
mm,
waiting for that moment when I can realize the presence of God, which is Amrit within my body. So I'm
yes.
waiting for that moment. Okay, so I
Mm.
pray for that day in, day out. And that is complete journey, where you say mission accomplished. So one day with Vaheguru's
But
Kirpa, it can be
yeah,
next moment. I don't know. So let's pray
absolutely.
to Vaheguru. Vaheguru, bless us with your darshan. We are like thirsty. Darshan pyasi dinas raat, chitwo ande neet, khol kapat gur melia, nanak har sang meet. Guru can help us to realize the
Mm.
Amrit. Hopefully that answers your question, Sukhikor.
Yeah, it does actually. It's helpful to get another perspective on it.
Sure.
So yeah, thanks for that. Right, okay. So next question then. I suffer from anxiety and depression. How can Sikhi help me cope?
And who is suffering then?
I think it was just a friend of mine who because of the whole lockdown situation, the whole coronavirus situation, it's really brought their spirit down a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's struggling a lot. She's struggled from anxiety. She's struggled from anxiety and depression for years now, through because of various different things that happened in her life. Um, and she used to take medication for it as well, which she stopped taking. So she just wants to really know how she can kind of properly get into Sikhi and help her to cope with her anxiety and depression when she feels it.
So there is only one way to free yourself from any anxiety and stress you may have. A lot of people suffering from depression, and you may know every workplace has mental health advisors and counselors.
Mm.
But I studied the Gurbani, and Guru Maharaj makes it very clear that God is source of joy. When you are joyful, then there's no depression, there's no anxiety. The reason people are worried is, or they get anxiety is when they have problem or worry about the finance, worry about the relationship, worry about their physical and mental health. They get worried. But Almighty Vaheguru provides for everything. So I'm going to share with you two sermons from Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Guru Maharaj says, "Janko chinta bahut bahut, dehi vyapay rog, ग्रस्त कुटुंब पलेटिया कदे हरक कदे सोग, गौन करे चौकुंट का घरी ना बैसन सोए, चित आवे उस पार ब्रह्म, मंतन शीतल होए." Now I'll try and translate. By the way, did you understand the meaning when I was reciting the Shabad?
I kind of got bits and pieces of it, but
Okay. So,
With the Gurbani language itself, it's hard to kind of translate it into English.
okay. So first line translates as, Janko chinta bahut bahut. One who has terrible anxiety problem. Dehi vyape rog. In that, the mental anxiety has caused the illness to the body as well.
Mm.
Grast kutumb paletya kade harak kade sog. One is so much stuck in the family, in the relationship, is suffering from the relationship. Sometimes person is very happy, sometimes it goes into depression. Gone kare choh kuntaka, kari na besan soy. That person goes to all kind of doctors, physicians, counselors, but still is not peaceful for a moment. And Guru Maharaj gives the solution. Chit ave os par brahm, tan man sheetal hoy. If that person just banks on Vaheguru, enshrines Vaheguru in the conscience and says, well, Vaheguru, you are going to sort it out. You have brought me into this life. It was not my choice. You brought me into this human life. You take care of me. The reason I'm suffering is because I forgot you. I come back into your sanctuary. Please help me. And Guru Maharaj says, body and mind will be healed and one will abide in peace. That's the first sermon. And Guru Maharaj in Sukhmani Bani reveals Sarab Kala Parpur Prabh Birtha Janan Har Janke Simran Udriya Nanak Tis Balihar. Tuti Gandan Har Gopal Sarab Kata Kart Pratap. Sarab ki chinta jisman mahe tiste birtha koi na. God is caring for everyone, provided one turns to God. Simple as that. Wake up early in the morning. Even whenever you find time during the day, praise God. Pray like we have just discussed. And that is the solution according to the Gurbani. And also, there's so much kirtan and katha available on the internet, like YouTube, Facebook. Please spend your time listening to the katha and kirtan, glories of Almighty God from the YouTube channel. And I myself, with Vaheguru's Kirpa, I've listened to the katha for an hour and a half this morning. And it was so good, because we can't go to the Gurdwara, because of the coronavirus. And it's so good to have that video playing on the television through your mobile phone. It's like you're in the Gurdwara and you're safe. You don't have to put the mask on either. So that is what I understand. Over to Amritpal Singh.
Again, I would agree with you, Amardeep. I think a lot of this is about closing off. I mean, we still have to live in the worldly world, but it's about closing and adjusting the mind to focus inside ourselves and try and connect with Vaheguru and feel Vaheguru's presence in everything we say and do and how we treat each other as well. Do some part. I did some part this morning, and afterwards I did reflect that I just felt calmer, bit more whole, if you want, in terms of describing how that feels. So I would recommend it if somebody's having anxiety and depression. But the Gurujis in the Gurbani often refer to the suffering through the mind and what problems the mind causes us. So a lot of this is about disciplining or containing the mind and focusing on things which aren't going to, a lot of the times we get anxiety about things that we can't really control. And then, we want to anchor our minds onto something that's permanent, that's something that sustains, and that will be always there. So the reflection part, focusing on the Gurbani will help, hopefully, if somebody's suffering from those kinds of symptoms.
Also, I think if you have opportunity, go out to help others.
Yes.
Which gives you great relaxation. Okay?
Yes.
So I've seen people suffering. They go out in the Sadh Sangat, they help preparing the food, distributing the food,
Yeah.
and that is a great relief. So that's another option, because there's so much you can do on your own in your own house. But if you get opportunity, please go out to help other people. Even picking up phone and talking to people who are lonely, you get their blessings back. I know I am aging uncle, aging Pupaji. He lives in America. I give him a ring and I talk to him for half an hour. And in the end, he says, Amardeep, this was so good. This was so good. I have been very down all day. Just talking to you for 1 hour, it's lifted me up. That's a great blessing. So
Yeah.
it made my day. Not that I'm proud of it. But it's it's like we're social animals, aren't we?
Yeah, we should try and connect with each other.
Yeah,
There might be a member of the family you've not spoken to in a long time, or an old friend that you've not. Speak to them, see how they are. A lot of the time, people
absolutely.
just feel it's a lot of the time you'll be surprised. It's not just yourself that's feeling lonely. Other people may also be feeling
Mm.
lonely and anxious, and just having the conversation. But helping others, but even like looking into your garden or looking in the local park and seeing all the wildlife, all the birds and the nature and the trees and the plants, that also helps to relieve anxiety and depression as well.
Mm.
The other
No,
And to
thing
see
I will
definitely.
suggest is, sorry, carry on.
Vaheguru in that creation. That's the point.
Yeah,
Is to look at the beautiful plants, the trees, the birds, and the wildlife. But remember, behind all of that is Vaheguru, and that's what we need to
yeah.
Mm.
keep our minds on.
Also, I find great uh, privilege in sending one message every day on the WhatsApp, on
Mm.
Facebook, because you don't know who may benefit, right?
Mm.
Yes.
So, so I spend 15-20 minutes compiling that message, posting on, and that I think that's really fruitful. So keep yourself
Mm.
engaged and ticking
Mm.
to keep away from all this depression and anxiety. Okay,
Mm.
we have 4 minutes left now, Sukiko. If you want to add
No
Add
something,
pressure.
anything?
yeah,
No, you know what?
Oh,
I think both of you. Go on.
I was going to say also, if you're feeling anxious, depression, do some exercise, go for a walk, get some fresh air.
Mm.
While you're
Mm.
doing your walk or you're going out in the fresh air, listen to some part at the same time or recite
Mm.
your part while you're doing it at the
Mm.
same time.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was just about to say
Exercise is
that's
very
something that I.
important. That's very
Yeah.
good
No, 'cause
point,
that's
Amrapal Singh. Yeah,
Mm.
that is
Sukiko.
actually something I do now because I do more exercise now than I have ever done in my entire life because of this whole thing. So no, going out for a
Same
walk,
here.
listening to Keaton, listening to Katha, listening to Bard while I'm going for a walk, it honestly it does so much good for you because it clears your mind and any worries that you've got, it
Yeah.
kind of just disappears almost,
They do.
which
It does
is
disappear.
really really good. But it's like you said, Faisal, it's like, sometimes we do worry about things that we can't control. And sometimes we just need to sit back and say, you know what? This is something we can't control. Let's just focus on the things that we can control, things that we can change. And I think that's the mindset that, especially people who suffer from anxiety and depression need to try and get into. And then it should be fine.
But even
Yeah,
when we say
Uh,
there are certain things we can control, there's actually very little that we can actually genuinely control. A lot of it's just we have to accept outcome which takes place.
that's it. That's it. Yeah, especially this whole pandemic thing. Then
yeah,
everything that we can do is what we can do. We can't do any more than what we've been asked to do. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
I came across one of my friends, who had invested in stock and share, but because of the financial crisis recently,
Mm.
he has basically lost a lot of money, and he
Mm.
was worried. And and my take was, you never saw that money. Money was in the bank.
Mm.
You invested in the stock and share, right? You never saw that money, you never used that money. When price went up, you were very happy, right?
Mm.
And now price has dropped, you are depressed. There's no need to be depressed. You have never seen that damn money. So it's basically state of mind. Basically, sometimes we
It
worry
is.
about things which don't really matter.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to keep out of that. So you're right, Suki. Sometime even my experiences, things I used to worry about 5 years ago, I think back and acknowledge there was nothing to worry about. I lost
Yeah.
my sleep for nothing.
Mm.
So if we can understand that fact from the Gurbani, we came into this world without anything. Even Gurbani says, you came into this world naked and you're going to leave the world naked. Why worry?
Mm.
So, what you can keep you in Chardi Kala, in high spirit, is your connection with God.
Mm.
Okay. So with these words, I think time is up now, and it has been really great talking over these questions, and fantastic. It's made my day today. Thanks for joining. And if we have made any mistakes, Sat Sangaji, please forgive us. And if you have any questions, please post on the Sikh Channel media, WhatsApp, or any other Sikh Channel media, and you can phone them up, leave your message on the website. So with these words, ask for forgiveness, share the Fateh, blessed to us by Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.